to this. Listen to this. I just went and handed in my marriage forms with Zeke. So with that, starting today, I am now his wife.
Really? How wonderful.
And not just that. Zeke told me that today would also be our anniversary since we started dating, and so he got me this gorgeous and delicious cake. I was already so happy to be married to him and all, but he went that extra mile and had this cake made for me by a very famous patissier. He told me that the man is a very good friend of his, so he was able to make this cake for me without any planning in advance. The fact that my husband would get something like that done for me on a day like today has just made me feel so blessed.
I suppose so. I'm so happy to see you being loved by my ex like that. And the fact that you get to enjoy a cake from a famous patissier. How amazing. You have just been having so much fun with the man you stole from your own friend, right?
Hey, Ariel, stop trying to make everything about you all the time. Can't you see that your friend just got married to the man she's been in love with for so long now? I would just really appreciate it if you were just a bit more kind to me and celebrated a day like today.
Don't expect me to shut up and let you rub that life of yours in my face now. Who the hell would want to celebrate a backstabbing whore like you anyway? If anything, the thing we should be talking about right now is you paying me that settlement.
I'm sorry. I'm leaving all of that in the hands of Zeke to pay off. I have no idea what he's doing with the money right now, so you can't really ask me anything about it.
I sure can ask you because you have to pay me a settlement as well. You're really going to make him pay it all off for you.
Well, of course I am. Zeke happens to run a whole freaking company as the CEO after all. And men like that are loaded with money, right?
Huh?
I don't have that kind of money on me right now. And I just quit the job I had in order to become his wife. That's why I won't be able to pay you any kind of settlement right now. The only thing I'm able to do right now is sit next to my wonderful husband and laugh at all his jokes and show him my most pretty smiles. He's giving me a life of luxury, and also the least I can do is make sure he sees just how beautiful of a woman I am.
Hold on a second. A life of luxury? Is that what you just said?
That's right. That amazing cake wasn't the only thing Zeke prepared for me today. In order to make me the most happy woman in the world, he prepared for me the most wonderful mansion to move into. That's why at this moment we are getting into his really fancy car, and we'll be driving out to that mansion and moving in.
Huh?
He loves me so much that I'm almost feeling suffocated. Not only did I get a really special cake, but I'm also getting to live in this massive mansion with him. And above all that, he seems to be madly in love with me. So I'd have to say, I've won at the game of life. Thank you so much for letting your husband throw you away at the time in order to marry me. My dream of living in a giant mansion with a CEO is finally going to come true.
I'm the one who's the CEO, though.
What?
I'm sorry to have to break this to you while you're flying in the clouds. But before you finish off that delicious cake he's gotten for you, would you please get a taste of reality? I know you're probably too euphoric right now for me to be able to get all the information into that head of yours, but you need to know something.
What reality are you talking about? I know for a fact that Zeke is the CEO. He happens to run Accounting Central and goes into work every day to make sure the company is doing well.
No, the one in charge of running Accounting Central would be me. It's the company I run right now, making me the CEO of it. And I'll have you know that with the divorce, Zeke lost his job and is now unemployed.
Huh? That's your company? And not only that, what? Zeke lost his job there.
Well, to be completely honest, he used to be the CEO of this company. Him and I worked together to run this company as husband and wife, per se.
You both worked together?
There are plenty of companies in the world that have two people running them, or even a whole board running them. And as for Accounting Central, I was the one that built the company from the bottom up. But as it began to grow larger and larger, I needed more help and had to rely on more people to join me in making things possible. That's when Zeke ended up quitting his previous job that he had before working with me, and came over to give me a hand. Since we were both committed to one another at the time, I thought the best option would be to make myself and him the CEO of the company by splitting control over things.
Is that right?
But then Zeke started to go out and have fun with you. And that was soon followed by us getting a divorce. Of course, with a divorce, there would be no way for us to work together anymore, so I had him removed from the company. At the time, he was going on about how he deserved part of the company, or at least a part of the profits for the rest of his life. But the thing is, the company was always all mine, and therefore I get to decide what he keeps and what he loses. And considering he was cheating on me and led us to get divorced, I chose to not give him much of anything. And then that led to a very smooth firing of Zeke.
Well, what? Wait a second. I never heard anything about that from Zeke before. He's always been going on about how he's the one running the company. And multiple times now he's told me it's his company.
I'm not saying he doesn't continue to say that the company is his. But the truth is, the company was never his, and he was only working at the top in order to help his wife, the true owner and CEO. And right now, all he really is an unemployed jerk. He doesn't run anything anymore and only holds the title of being a cheating little jobless idiot.
Then what about the mansion he's promised me? The mansion that him and I are supposedly moving into today? There's no way he can afford a mansion if he's unemployed now, right? And wait a second. What about the settlement we have to pay you? Zeke is going to pay for me as well, right?
I have no idea about all of that. How about you ask the man sitting next to you in the car driving?
I'm too scared to ask him something like that.
Well, when it came to the life we had together, we were both living in your average apartment. I get that we were both running a company, but even then we were just living in a 2-bedroom apartment that was just under 1,000 square feet.
What? Are you kidding me? I thought that you and him had been living in some kind of penthouse downtown or something.
If we had been running a large company together, I'm sure that would be the case. But this company isn't that large yet. We were just making enough to afford to live in a decent apartment downtown is all. No way we were going to afford some penthouse. So I really wonder where the jobless Zeke is taking you to right now. He was never able to live in anything like a mansion back when he had a job running a company.
What the hell? I'm scared right now, Arya. Where the hell is he taking me right now? We should be going to a mansion right now to finish off this lovely cake, right? Starting tomorrow, I should be living the life of a celebrity, right?
Oh, look at you getting all excited and worked up at the same time. Now you have a wonderful time with your new husband.
You've really done it this time. Telling Penelope about how I'm unemployed right now. Because of that, she started to yell at me while we were driving to let her out of my car.
The only problem I see here is that you were hiding all of that from your new wife that you only just got married to. So tell me, where were you planning to take her away to? She was told that you were taking her to this massive mansion you bought for her. No matter how I tried to think about it, there's no way you could afford a place like that.
I was taking her to my parents' house. Look, after having to try and calm her down while driving another hour, we finally arrived here.
Huh? You took her to your parents' house?
I wasn't lying about anything to her. Look, my parents happen to have a rather large house. Because of how large it is, most of the people in this town like to call it the mansion on Jefferson Street.
Even if it's not completely a lie, there is still no way things are going to work out for you. You had been telling her that the two of you would be moving into a mansion, yet it's turned out to be her new in-laws' house. You both only just got married, so no matter how hard you try and stretch things, in her eyes, I'm not sure she's wanting to live with her in-laws yet.
We would only have to be living with my parents for a little while. Just a little while. Look, I have a few things I need to fix in my life, and that requires my parents to be around to support me. That's why I brought her here, to live for a little bit.
And what did Penelope say to an excuse like that? She thought you were a CEO, yet you have no job. And she thought you were taking her to a mansion to live together in, but it's turned out to be her in-laws' house. I'm sure she's livid right now, huh?
About that one, Aria. Look, I know you might be feeling upset still, after being stabbed in the back by the both of us, but right now she's very happy with the way things have turned out.
What?
At first she was pretty pissed saying that I'd lied to her, but after explaining everything to her, she became very happy. That when she learned that my parents' house is really this big, she started to go on about how this house and the land are all hers. Started to ask me just how much money the both of my parents would be passing on to her when they die. Seeing her get all excited like that made my heart skip a few beats, actually. Also, after explaining to her what my next job would be, she almost passed out due to joy.
Oh, so you've already decided where you'll be working next.
I have. Right after you had me fired from your company, my friend hit me up asking if I wanted to work for him. He's in need of some help right now, so I'll be the perfect option for his company.
That's amazing, Zeke. Now that you'll be getting another job here soon, you can finally pay me the settlements I've been asking you and Penelope for. I have been waiting for so long now, and I'm getting very impatient with the both of you.
Don't get so worked up over it. Look, once I become the next director there, I'll give you whatever you've asked us for. Look, honestly, I'll give you double what you've asked for since I kept you waiting.
Well, that would be wonderful. I guess you really have found yourself a well-paying job.
Well, this is the kind of income a director like myself is expected to be making after all. Next month, I'll be joining my friend in his company, and there'll be a ceremony held for me joining as the new director. Then I'll be helping my friend grow his company with him, and making even more than I was before with you. Then I can take Penelope with me, and we can move into the mansion I promised her. I'll have the dream mansion she's been wanting for so long built, just the way she wants it.
That would make her so happy, wouldn't it?
Once they have the new mansion built and we moved in, I'll invite you to the housewarming party as well. I'll show you the loser that you are, just how happy my new wife and I are, living in such a modern and gorgeous mansion.
Hey, listen to this. The place that Zeke ended up taking me to happens to be his parents' house.
I heard all about that from him yesterday. I thought you were going to be pissed off with him, but you actually turned out to be really happy.
Well, at first I was shocked at what was going on, but when I found out that both the house and the land would be mine, I forgave him. I never thought that Zeke was going to be the successor of two very rich parents and would be getting all of this to himself. Also, it so happens that his parents have a lot of other assets that we'll be given access to after they are gone. After seeing just how much money there is in all of this, I don't mind spending a little time living together with his parents after all.
How much money there is? You've been looking at all the things his parents have and their values? Great job!
Are you getting all jealous of me now or something? I don't don't care how much all of this hurts you, because I'm the one who ended up with everything here.
Huh?
Really sucks to be you, Arya. Not only does this husband of mine love me so much more than he ever loved you, but he's willing to let me have everything his parents leave behind. Oh, who cares that you happen to run some small little company like that? Compared to all the money and assets my husband and I will be getting, you are nothing, and your company is nothing.
You're calling my very important company nothing now?
Don't try and act all tough just because you're a CEO. Compared to you, I've come out above you by miles. I mean, I happen to have a husband that will soon be a very high-up director and has all of these things just waiting around to become mine.
All of those things will soon become mine, you mean?
What?
I was just sitting here quietly waiting to see just how far you were going to take things. But I told you yesterday to take a really good look at reality, right? Yet you still haven't settled down to do so, and are only making yourself look like even more of an idiot. Could that cake you had yesterday been a little too much sugar for you?
Hey, what the hell do you mean all of this will be yours? Stop saying such BS right now.
I'm just speaking the truth is all.
No way that could be true. Why the hell would all the things his parents own become yours? You are his ex-wife and have nothing to do with him now. All you are is a stranger. So how would you ever get any of the things his parents own?
I'm getting all of those things because that's the promise we made.
The promise you made?
Are either of Zeke's parents around you right now?
Right now they are out in the living room taking over some things. They asked me to come and join them because it's about something important.
Then maybe you should go and join them in that discussion. I'm sure that right now Zeke is being told the reality of the situation and what will be happening from here on out. A lot of it has to be about how I'm the owner of that house and its land.
Huh? Did you just say you're the owner of this house?
Now you go and listen in on the details from your in-laws, please. I have a lot of work going on today, so I have to get going.
What is all this about, Arya? You own both my parents' house and the land the house is on. I won't allow that to be the case.
Whether or not you'll allow it, the documents hold the truth. And the truth is, I own them both. As your parents have already told you, they both wanted me to own the house and its land. I was asking them to find a way to get their son to pay me the settlement I was asking for. And they came to me saying that they were sorry for what you had done and offered their house and everything to me.
I heard about that from them, but I had no reason to believe all that. I never thought that my parents would give up the rights to their house and everything. They never said anything about something like that going on. And from what else I've heard, when buying their house, they relied on you to do all the accounting. They even had you taking out the loan for them in order to afford that place. Why did you never tell me anything about all of that? Why did they never tell me?
I'm sure it had something to do with their pride as your parents. They even told me to keep all that had been going on a secret from you. They understood that if you found out about what had been going on, you would most likely get upset with them.
No way.
I knew that as your wife, it wasn't good to keep secrets from you such as that. But considering it was your parents asking me to not tell you, I couldn't say no. And they were the ones I was getting business from, as I was their accountant. So I definitely wouldn't want to lose their trust.
The way things are going, I'm not going to get anything from them. Look, if I'm able to get you the money you've been asking for, then you'll give them back that house and the land, right?
Well, of course. I'm just holding on to the house right now as a way of making sure I have some sort of value coming from you guys. Although, if you don't get that money to me soon, I will keep this house and all for good, and will most likely sell it for more than I'm asking for in the settlement. So as long as you pay me the amount that I've asked for these next few months, then I promise you all that you'll get the house back.
Really?
But you will be able to get all that money that I've asked from you on time this time, right? From what I've seen already out of you, I'm not sure you will be able to. But what do you think? Will you be all right?
What? What do you mean you're not sure about me paying you back?
Have you been listening to anything your parents have said to you? They told you about how much I've been asking for from you on top of the settlement, right? Back when they took out that loan through me for the house, they were never able to pay it all back to me. And so I told them during our divorce just to have you pay the remainder back to me in the settlement. But you never paid me anything. And so they have been begging me to allow an extension on when I want the money. But I've already told them it's not going to happen now.
What? I never knew about that either. I just thought I was having to pay you the original settlement and that was all.
Well, that's not at all the case here. But it's starting to sound more and more like I'll be getting to keep this house and land that I've acquired, right? I would much rather have the money I asked for, but if I'm able to time things out just right, I could sell the house and land for even more than I was asking you all for.
No, hold on a second. Whenever I talked with my parents about their new place, they always told me they had everything under control and had it all paid off. They lied to me. And when I asked them about who they got the loan through, they just lied to me and told me some local bank.
I hope you're not getting too upset with your parents right now.
I'm going to talk with my parents right now.
Oh, what should I do? Arya? I was just calling to go and see Zeke a second ago. He told me that from here on out we're going to have to live here with his parents. Forever.
What? But didn't he say he only planned to stay with them for a little bit before his new job?
He says that things aren't going so well for his parents now, so we're all going to have to live together. He also told me about how his parents made some mistakes when buying this place, and that's made things even worse for us. After asking him how much money we needed to get out of this mess, he told me far more than even his salary will be able to pay. He then told me about how your parents were trying to get this house sold by renovating it and all that, but nobody would take it off their hands. So now, in order to help them with their losses and for us to still have a place to live, we're going to have to live here, with them, and to hand our money over.
Oh my. I thought after hearing something like that you would have made a run for the hills to escape Zeke and his family. But you are being one very special wife by sticking by his side in order to support him in his family's time of need. I'm sure he's still very worried, though, about how things will play out. So make sure to take good care of him.
I'm the one freaking out right now, though. I was told that if you don't get the money you've asked for here soon, the house and the land will all be yours forever, right? There's no way the things that are all supposed to be mine have to go and be taken away by you.
Well, it's Zeke's parents' fault for not paying off all the money I was owed by them. So would you stop whining about all of that to me when you should be talking with them right now?
Huh?
Also, it doesn't really matter to me anymore that they didn't pay me everything back, as they left that to their son to do in the divorce. I mean, the plan was to have him take all their things from them after they died, including their debt. So, on top of the settlements I'm still owed, he should be paying me the remainder of whatever his parents forgot about. Luckily, Zeke will be able to pay all of that to me, right? I mean, he's going to work for his friend now as a director and will be making massive amounts of money. He'll be able to take care of everything for both you and his parents without even having to break a sweat, right? But remember, there is a deadline to all of that, so he'd better make it quick.
What do you mean he'll be a director at his friend's company? All of that vanished and he's not going to become anything now. He lied about all of that to me, so he's still going to be an unemployed jerk!
Are you serious?
It's not that he lied, but the guy he called his friend stabbed him in the back. Even though he was the one that asked for Zeke to join him in the first place. That guy is the real liar in this situation. He won't let Zeke come and join the company anymore. He said some stupid crap about how he thought Zeke had experience running a company, but that he was wrong. He then followed that by saying Zeke must have just helped run your company in practice, because in reality he had no clue what he was doing.
Wow. Poor old Zeke.
There's no way someone could do that to their friend. I was so happy to see my husband becoming a director. I needed him to become one in order to get us out of this situation.
I'm sure you did. You have been so worried about paying off your in-laws' debt to me as well as getting this house and land back that I received from them in exchange. And like I've been saying time and time again, you guys will also have to pay me that settlement I've been asking again and again for. You have so many things to be worried about now.
I know that! Everything is going to hell here! We need money right now more than ever. Right now they are trying so hard to get any bit of money they can. They've started to sell all their antiques. And those expensive things that are supposed to become mine in the future are all going away. And they aren't even handing any of the money they get for them to me, instead using it to pay off all the smaller debts they've had. I'm not getting a single penny out of any of this.
Hold on now. Those guys have been in debt to others besides just myself?
That's right. Zeke's parents have borrowed money from all kinds of people in order to try and make their lives better. But now that they need to start paying all of that money back, they have been selling literally everything.
Wow. I can't believe it. Then how are things going for them right now? Are they going to be able to avoid being hit by higher interest rates and things like that?
Not at all. They can barely make enough money right now to pay off anything. And pretty soon here they will have no more momentum. There is no way this family is making it out of here alive. I can already tell what the end will look like. This family and everything they have with them will fail!
Whew, you poor thing. Especially when the people you just became family to are trying too hard to keep their heads above water right now.
Hey, please, Arya. I want to get away from Zeke and his family as soon as possible. Would you come and get me from here? I need your help getting me out of here.
What? You can't just run away from all your problems like that. You happen to be part of that family now. Your husband is trying so hard right now to make things work, so you have to be there to support him. Your job as his wife is to be by his side laughing and smiling for him, right?
With the way things are right now, I can't smile at all. Please, Arya, help me. If I can't get away from all of them now, I'm going to burn in hell just like them!
Well, as long as you go to hell along with them, you'll have someone to keep you company. It'll be the four of you, all paying for the sins you all committed. So now that you're aware of that, you all have the best of luck paying off your debts. For starters, maybe work on paying off the settlements you and Zeke owe me, please. Although Zeke and his parents tried their best, they weren't bringing in nearly enough money to pay off all the debt they were in. I myself was a little bit worried about if they'd ever pay me the settlement or not, but after a few months' worth of payments, I got all the money I wanted from those two. However, having already paid her part of the settlement, Penelope later started texting me asking to give back the money she gave me because things were even worse for her. I'm sure things really did get worse for her and everyone else, considering her husband was still jobless and both her in-laws still in debt. I would have loved to help her get out of such a pickle, but my heart can only be so loving, and so I did the only thing I could for her, and that was blocking her number. I did, however, end up giving them the house and land back, since I got the settlement I had asked for. But from what I heard out of other people's mouths, they were never able to pay off everything, and are no longer living in that house. Apparently, they ended up selling the house for half the amount it was worth. All while Penelope sat in the yard screaming her head off about how something like this was never supposed to happen. As of right now, that very unfortunate family of four is living in a studio apartment, having to sleep alone on the hard floor together like a can of sardines.